So when it comes to gear and people's setups, it's going to be different for everybody, different walks of life, different use case scenarios. Maybe somebody's a streamer, maybe somebody's just an actual content creator, like recording videos, or maybe there's somebody who just likes to have a creative space where they can feel free to, come up with ideas and express themselves, whether it is on social media, just taking photos of their setup, or they're just gaming, what I'm saying, after a 9 to 5. And I feel like with setups, they progress over time. Obviously, the more that, longer that you're at doing it, the chances are you're going to upgrade stuff here and there. And this is something I had to discuss with my wife, as far as letting her know, like, hey, over time, stuff just fails. You know what I'm saying? Stuff just eventually, because it's man-made, nothing's perfect. I've talked about that multiple times here on the channel. But sometimes, like, maybe a hard drive fails for some reason, you just don't know. Maybe your CPU just craps the bed, GPU or something like that. Maybe you realize that your PC case is not getting enough airflow, so you have to swap that. Maybe you want to upgrade the components and you have to get like a better power supply. Now you have to just get a whole bunch of components and stuff for your PC. Or maybe you just realize that your camera that you had, it's not as good as the new camera that you got. So this is the Sony ZV-E10 Mark II and shooting at S-Log3 10-bit 422. And this is the Sony ZV-E10 Mark I shooting in HLG3 8-bit, both using the same person's LUT for the respective color picture profiles. So obviously it's been a couple of days and I do apologize for the weird cut, but I realized after coming back and editing the video, it was just going to drag on for too long. So I just kind of wanted to structure it a little bit different. And I wanted to go ahead and say that the reason why I wanted to make this video was because I ran into this story of me taking back the PC from my wife that I gave to her because she wasn't using it for about a year. And I brought it in here and I did a lot of updates. And when I did a lot of those updates that it needed, something happened. I don't know if it was Windows 10 or a graphics card update or something like that, but I started getting the VGA light on my motherboard, and that pretty much means that either it's a motherboard issue or a GPU issue, because the communication between the two is just not working correctly. So long story short, I flashed a BIOS. I updated the BIOS, and I had to change some stuff with my SSD. I had to upgrade to Windows 11. The problem is solved now. Thank you to my brother and T for helping me out. They know who they are. But after doing all that, it took forever to update and do all that stuff. So while I was waiting in that process, I shot some B-roll for this video, but I also was looking on my laptop and my phone, and I was doom scrolling, and I saw a desk that I was like, wow, now I want that, because I always been somewhat interested in the Secret Labs Magnus Pro desk line, and they came out with the XL and pure white with ash gray accents, and that thing is phenomenal. It looks good. And I'll go ahead and say it here, Secret Labs, if you want to work with your boy, I would be happy. But even if you don't want to, that is fine, because I'm eventually getting that desk, because that is one of the nicest desks I ever seen, coupled with all the accessories based on the 2 YouTube videos that I've seen that really went into the deep dive of the desk and talked about it and everything. All the accessories that you can get and everything. It's a fantastic desk. I want it so bad. I'm literally salivating over here. Help me, Secret Labs. Help me. Send help. Even if, like I said, they would never want to work with me, that is completely fine, because I am going to end up getting that. And that's what kind of led me down to this rabbit hole of getting gear for your dream setup and how to do it practically, especially from a content creator standpoint. If you're making content and everything, and if that's your thing about desk setups and you're making content about, desk accessories, all that stuff, obviously it's a super expensive, I'll say investment, but again, it will pay itself off because aesthetically it looks good. You have all the accessories. You're going to have a good point to start off doing that type of content. Obviously, you're going to get a lot of views and stuff like that. But at the same time, you're probably not monetized, and you're probably not getting it for free from Secret Labs, and you're probably spending your own hard-earned money on that, even though you saved up and everything like that. And chances are you're probably still rocking your cell phone, or you probably don't really have a camera. And if you do, it's probably not as good of a quality as this one, unless you just have the money like that. So the thing about it is like, that's what I kind of ran into, was like, I'm seeing the dip in quality of this camera versus the Sony ZV-E10 Mark II. and this one obviously is the Mark 1. And then I started really noticing the dip in quality recently with the Alpha 6100. The photos have still been looking good, but the video portion, using it for live stream and testing against the Mark II, and doing videos on the Mark II, using the Mark II for time lapses and just B-roll and S-Log3 and like all that stuff, it's like this camera is just not for me anymore. I've outgrown it. So I want to go ahead and sell it on the used market. I got quoted a price between $400 and $500 depending on the accessories and stuff, but just the camera body alone, it's gonna be around $400. So what I'm planning on doing is selling all the accessories, the kit lens and the camera, wherever to the used camera website. I'm going to go through KEH. It's a camera website that I've, purchased lenses and other equipment from. So I have no problem working with them, and everybody else has never had a problem with the website. So that's what I plan on doing, going forward, is using that website to acquire a used Alpha 6700 or even brand new. It just depends. But I don't need a kit lens. I don't need all the other accessories. I just need a camera body and maybe an extra spare battery. So that's going to help on the cost of that. But again, obviously you can tell that $400 is not going to pay for that camera. So what it led me down to was selling that Sony ZV-E10 Mark 1. It's still a good camera. Great picture quality. HLG3 works fine. Intelligent auto mode, no color picture profile. I think all looks good. And obviously anybody who's using the camera to facilitate doing the content creation, especially baby first camera, is a wonderful process. But just having the quality jump up to this and being able to manipulate and still grow with this camera, the Sony ZV-E10 Mark II, and knowing that the Alpha 6700 is going to be pretty much on par, other than having the EVF and the IBIS, and we'll get to that why that's important in a second. It just makes more sense for me to sell the Alpha 6100 and the Sony ZV-E10 Mark 1, and then purchase the Alpha 6700. The reason why I'm not going to use this camera to do it is because I want it to be my main camera, because you can see the quality and everything like that. And I could use the Alpha 6700 for photos and video taking for B-roll and my live stream camera, because I have a quick release plate. I can just take it off and go do whatever I need to do, because I can potentially start working with clients, because I want to get into photo taking in 2025. I want to start learning how to color grade that stuff, using Adobe Lightroom, doing all that stuff, because that's going to be a little bit of extra pocket change for me if I learn how to do that kind of stuff with the Alpha 6700. So essentially the camera will eventually pay for itself based off of me selling the Alpha 6100 and the Sony ZV-E10 Mark 1, and whatever's left over from not being able to fully purchase the camera, I will be able to, use my own money to purchase the Alpha 6700. I already have a whole bunch of APS-C lenses. The only other thing is I probably get the Tamron 70 to 70 just because of the focal length, but I already have an 11 to 18 millimeter lens right here. That's a zoom lens. I have a whole bunch of prime lenses. I have two 11 millimeter or one 11 millimeter, obviously two 16 millimeters, as well as a 30 millimeter. So, the focal ranges, keeping them small and stuff like that, depending on what I'm doing, is fine. But I would like to have a zoom lens just because if I need to. And the reason why I want the Alpha 6700, because like I said, it has the IBIS, it has the EVF. And usually when you go out and about, all you can take is a camera and a lens. Some places don't want you setting up tripods and lights and all that stuff. So depending on where I'm taking the photos at, it might just be more sensible to bring the camera because it has IBIS, and bring a good lens, and I can take whatever photos and stuff, because like I said, it has the EVF if it's too bright outside. And the reason why I'm doing that is because my wife is having a family reunion on her dad's side, and they're going to be doing it for about 2 weeks. And my wife potentially wants to stay there for a month to be able to see everybody just outside of the family reunion, and not just be going there just for that, and having time extra over to be able to do stuff. And her mom is potentially paying for it because she offered us at the last minute, because we just found out it this week. And again, it's in early summer. So it's like, there's no way that we're going to be able to save up that quickly to be able to facilitate that. But I would be able to purchase this gear because it's going to be way low in cost versus, paying for Hawaii for 3 people, pretty much. My son's almost 2, but you know what I mean. So in doing that, I could just bring the Alpha 6700, bring, maybe 2 prime lenses and 1 zoom lens, and my camera bag will already be decked out, extra batteries and stuff, because the battery life is way better on these cameras, the Mark II and the Sony Alpha 6700 over, the other older generation cameras. So I don't have to bring that many batteries, but I will have a portable battery charger, all that stuff. I'm just looking for a small compact light. I've been looking into that, and that when it's rechargeable, it could take USB-C if anything, and potentially has RGB. That would be a plus, but in a small soft box to take with it and everything, and fit it all in my carry-on, luggage bag, because we'll have, under the plane stuff, but obviously I don't want to put my camera gear and all that stuff under there, obviously. So it's like, that would be a easier setup than bringing a whole bunch of gear and all that stuff. But as well, I want to get the Osmo Pocket 3 to be able to document the stuff, just in case I don't want to bring the camera, lens, whatever. I could just bring that, and that's a fantastic camera. If you've done the research about it, you already know it's one of the best options out there for vlogging and doing daily life, like all that stuff. So that's essentially what I wanted to get added on to the cost of getting the Alpha 6700. And again, selling these two cameras would pretty much cover that. If not, I would only have to pay a little bit out of pocket for the rest. And getting a MacBook Pro, I'm not sure what chipset I'm going to get. I don't know if I really need the M4 because I don't travel as much. But the thing about it is that it will allow me to learn Adobe Lightroom while I'm, in Hawaii or whatever, or if I have to go somewhere to shoot photos and stuff like that, I can just take them off the SD card right there on the computer, email them or something like that to somebody. I can edit on the go if I want to and everything. Obviously, I'm still going to edit here in my room and everything, so it's not a problem for me. But I would rather get the Mac Mini, to be honest. But being on planes, traveling or wherever, and the future proofing of, doing client work and stuff like that, maybe I can just ride them there, slap some LUTs on, for the photos, ask if they like them and stuff like that. Obviously do the contract businessy stuff, but I would be able to just, email them. Like maybe I go over to the house, or maybe we're somewhere that there's Wi-Fi or something like that, or whatever I need to do, transfer files, all that stuff. Because the only laptop I got is a Samsung Google Chrome book or wherever. It has its own internet, but it's like not gonna allow me to obviously edit stuff 10-bit 422, color grading, all that stuff for photos and everything. It's just not gonna allow me to do that. It's not gonna be that powerful. It's more just surfing the web and maybe watching some YouTube videos. So essentially that's why I want to get. But again, the Osmo Pocket 3, the Apple stuff, or whatever, that will pay for itself by doing the client work. Because again, the reason why I want to do that is because people around here that take photos and stuff, they looks like their camera is just set in intelligent auto mode or no color picture profile. There's no color grading, there's no nothing. Stuff is overly bright, like the sky is just completely blown out, not exposed correctly. Then you're using full frame cameras, but the picture quality is like, if I took it on my cell phone probably could take better photos than them. And other than like maybe two people, one person does have a full-on studio, and one person pretty much has their house decked out and multiple sets and extra accessories and stuff to take photos. So obviously they look great. But most of the people that, they're charging a pretty penny, but most of the people that are charging, lower than them, it's like I could do better, and I'm a noob. So that's why I potentially want to go ahead and do that stuff. And again, that the MacBook and the Osmo Pocket 3, that will pay for itself. Picking and choosing the right gear for the right job and going with, getting the cameras and the MacBook and all that stuff makes a little bit more sense than me going out and just buying the desk. Because again, like I said, the Sony Alpha 6700 aside, the Osmo Pocket 3 and the MacBook, yeah, I'm gonna have to pay out of pocket for that. But the Osmo Pocket 3, I can quickly recoup the cost of that camera. Maybe not so the MacBook or wherever, that would take longer, obviously, to recoup the cost. And if I get the Alpha 6700 and not looking at the Osmo Pocket 3 and the Apple MacBook, but just looking at the Alpha 6700, it would pay for itself doing those photos and stuff for people, getting paid for that, the disposable income, because whatever money that was left over after selling both of these cameras, obviously it would end up paying for itself. And on top of that, it will allow me to have clients and hopefully returning clients and stuff like that, and word of mouth spreading and everything, because the camera just makes more sense to purchase than getting the desk or any other dream equipment that I want to get in the future. Because like I said, that stuff will not only pay for itself eventually, but it will allow me to save up money to get that dream equipment. So it's like, yeah, I could just get the desk and yeah, I'm gonna look at it. It's gonna be nice. I can shoot B roll, everything like that of the desk and desk accessories and all that stuff. It's gonna be fantastic, but it's not going, other than maybe some Google AdSense on some videos, it's not going to really recoup the money fast. Whereas if I have a camera and I take, 10, 20 photos, maybe 30 photos or whatever, and charge 100, $200 or whatever for that, you know what I'm saying? And I know some people out there, they would be like, what are you doing? You're supposed to be charging 1,000 or more. And it's like, yeah, I'm not taking photos for them, color grading it, uploading to YouTube and being or Instagram or whatever, and doing all this stuff. I'm not doing wedding photography or wedding videos or anything like that. It's just, hey, you want to take a family photo, you want to take a portrait of yourself or something like that. I can just go ahead and do that, give it to them. You know what I'm saying? That's it. Any kind of little money or whatever, it's going to help. And again, that stuff is going to add up over time. And if I get better at it, then maybe I can I would say increase the how much I'm charging for, that work. But again, that makes more sense because again, in the short term, it's going to pay itself off and allow me to recuperate a lot more money than if I just went and got the desk. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I kind of wanted to walk through my process of why I was going to, sell these cameras and everything. And it's just, like I said, going down the rabbit hole and thinking about it, it's like, man, I really want the desk. I really want it. But it's like, if I could just sell the camera, I already have the lenses and stuff I need. So I can sell the kit lens with the camera, all the accessory camera cages, batteries, everything like that, with the camera and everything. And then what that would facilitate me doing is getting the Alpha 6700. It'll be on par with this one. I could just make it my main, never move it. Fantastic quality. This is going to last a long time. And then have the Alpha 6700 to take the photos, the B-roll, the time lapses and stuff like that. Because again, it has IBIS, and just overall, it's going to be a better quality for the YouTube channel as well, because everything's going to look like this. But at the same time, it's going to allow me to add more value to brands and to clients potentially wanting to work with me, because they're going to be like, man, this looks good. I want you to take my photos. I want you to do this, that, and the third. You know what I'm saying? So again, yeah, just making smart choices. I know some people will probably be like, yeah, of course, make smart choices, make smart purchases. But at the end of the day, I feel like sometimes it's better to hear it from somebody else who has, intermediate, nice looking setup. Somewhat, I've been told that multiple times. My setup is not the best. There's still like storage stuff back there on storage cabinets that I need to go ahead and sell too, because I'm not keeping that stuff, or I'm not really using it either. And most of it's just from brands who have sent stuff out. And it's like, yeah, they're nice, but when it comes to like microphones, I'm not switching out my microphones all the time. And if I need to do microphone testing, I have a video compilation of all the microphones I have already, and I'll just keep adding to it. So there's no reason for me to keep the physical microphone anyways. So it's like, I have B-roll, have all that stuff of this stuff. I could just sell them, 10, $20 here and there, whatever. And somebody else can have it and can go to a good home. So again, doing that kind of stuff, being able to recoup money, even if I didn't spend any money on an item, all that's going to allow me to be able to purchase, this gear that I talked about today. And then all that gear is going to be able to leapfrog me into getting the actual desk that I want, instead of just getting the actual desk I want and having to wait on getting the cameras and all that stuff and just waiting even longer because I purchased this, and that's not going to really help me grow. It's not going to bring in clients. It's not going to really bring in that much money, even on Google AdSense for videos and stuff like that. Maybe some more companies would want to work with me because I'm taking pictures of setups and stuff. So they want to send the desk accessories, but 9 times out of 10, that's probably not going to be paid for work. So it's like, at the end of the day, what's going to make me money? You know what I'm saying? What's going to allow me to profit monetarily to be able to get the stuff that I want? And I think that's the mindset that content creators should have when it comes to upgrading or doing upgrades to their setup first. It's like, what here can I upgrade first that's going to allow me to upgrade what I really want, instead of just getting what I really want and not thinking like, hey, if I upgraded from a webcam to a camera, I could have started vlogging, taking photos, maybe getting some sponsorships or, getting clients, whatever. And I could have got more money to go out and get that new, gaming monitor that I want. You know what I'm saying? So it's like that's the mindset I think more people need to have nowadays. So hopefully I was able to articulate my speech in a way that made sense. And hopefully this helped somebody out there. And it wasn't just like, well, duh, squid. I know there's going to be people there. I know there's going to be people who dislike the video. And you know what I'm saying? The more that I've grown here on the channel talking about the certain stuff and having my mindset, the more I've seen the more negativity. And I guess that's just the algorithm pushing my videos out to people and just people being negative because it's not over hyper edited content like you see on YouTube shorts or like TikToks and stuff like that. And it's just more of a chill, not really high production quality video. But again, I'm doing it because I want somebody out there who sees the videos that I make be able to make a conscientious decision and a well-informed and educated decision on their purchases. And again, that's the core founding value of me doing product reviews. So with all that being said, hopefully you found it helpful or informational. If you did, then you can leave a like and consider subscribing, maybe even joining the channel memberships, because we do have that available on the channel if you want to support me. If not, I can just catch you guys in the next one. Y'all take care. Have a squidtastic day. God bless you and yours. And deuces, everybody. And if you wanted to comment, let me know what you want to see of Hawaii, because yeah, that's interesting.